Yeah,
He's
that's a good idea.
it's a weird thing
Which
that he's I there's
Right.
one
my dad
strange
left Fox News on out there. I don't know. My mom would want the TV turned off rather than Fox News.
Oh, oh.
okay. We live now?
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see everyone. This
Yes. Good
is
morning.
no,
Um,
still morning, I guess, for you. Yeah.
yes, it
For,
is.
for
Almost overslept.
most of the continental United States, it's still morning. Maybe we should start it like 5 minutes early, 5 minutes before noon Eastern Standard Time, so that it's still technically morning, even in the East Coast.
Um,
Um,
so you're saying did you
start at
say,
11. Yeah, if we start at 11:55 Eastern Standard Time, then it's still morning,
okay.
technically.
Yeah, it is.
So
Um,
we'd need to put an asterisk next to morning, a little disclaimer, you know. Only technically is it morning show, not for everybody, not the whole time, but it is.
uh,
Gently.
okay. We're gonna start with that's what we didn't do. The top topic today was ice, and you had a few things about ice. You said, right? Open that tab.
All right. So my major concerns with ice is the stages that they've taken through this. First, the population of inner cities. This is illegal and it's unconstitutional what they're doing. And
What is specifically being done that is unconstitutional, and what specific part of the Constitution is it violating?
I think it's
Because
the
because I genuinely don't
Kidnap.
know. But if there's no specific constitutional violations that you can point to, then it's just repeating the talking points of others, and who knows whether they're correct or not. So I just want to know what constitutional um,
you need
violations are happening.
a warrant to arrest someone or enter their house. And
Correct.
they do not do that. They make police stops based on racial profiling, and
Police stops are legal. They
they're
don't
not the
necessarily,
police. They're not the police.
they're law enforcement. Can law enforcement
Oh,
not stop people on the roadways? Genuine
oh, that's
question. Like, FBI can stop people and make arrests on roadways, public roadways. Plus, you need a license to be on the road to begin with. I
that
don't know.
is
I don't know
that.
this. Is
I don't
this a
know
yes?
this either, but I think it's
Because
such a.
if it's a yes, then it's not a problem and it's not a violation.
But it is a problem because they're in the cities and we don't want them there stopping every car that passes by. And we're trying to live our lives. And the federal government, which
Well, it's
I
just
don't
an
know what
appeal
they're.
to emotion, honestly. If there's no constitutional problem, if it's not a violation, so we need to find the violation, or it's an inconvenience. but an inconvenience is not illegal. I
I,
don't know.
I,
I'm
I think
just,
I think people are
I
just
didn't,
interpreting the Constitution like, oh, well, it says, the wrong pronoun or something, or the wrong, they use the verb in the past tense, so therefore doesn't apply to this situation. I think you're interpreting it way in
I
the
have
wrong
not
tense.
interpreted anything. I've just asked questions about what violations are happening, and I have received no specific answers about what violations, except they're making stops. But we have not established whether those stops are illegal or not. So I've not used any interpretation.
Okay, I think we went through this before.
I think we did.
Uh,
I mean,
Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures, requires warrants based on probable cause.
a warrant is not required for a stop on the public roadways.
Well, what about them kicking in people's doors and just arresting people and
Yeah, that's
people just,
shitty. I'm not defending that. That's shitty.
all right,
But if they
do
have a warrant for it, regardless of how shitty the warrant is, and if they don't have warrants for them, then that's extra shitty. But I mean, an appeal to emotion is not a logical argument.
I see no emotion. I am just simply
Um, Ice big,
reporting the
scary,
facts.
scary doors kicked in, ice bad, scary masked men, inconvenient. We just want to live our lives. That's all appeal to emotion.
All right, what about them shooting people in the streets?
Yeah,
Is that,
that's that's shitty too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, isn't that how, you know, uh, dictators rise by just doing a few shitty things? And it's all, oh, brush it off. And we have,
I
you know,
mean, so what's the
tr
alternative then? How do you propose the problem of illegal residents in this country be resolved?
I don't think it's that much of a problem, but I do want strong
Well,
borders. I do
if they're
want,
not paying taxes and they're availing themselves of public services
well, allow me to bring
instead
up
of,
some
I mean,
numbers.
okay, we got charts. I'm ready. I pulled out my Excel. I did some digging.
Only 5% have
Um,
been violent criminals. All people detained, 5% have violent.
Legal permanent residence is a requirement in this country. All of them are criminals if they are living here without
That's
legal citizenship or without a visa, without any documentation.
that's what I mean
That
by
is a crime.
technicality.
It's not a
You're
technicality, it is a statement of fact.
Yeah, but I
um,
said 5% have violent criminal records.
Right.
5% are
All of them are
the
criminal.
the killers and whatever. That's
Right. Okay. So that's
And 73.6% of the detainees have no criminal record whatsoever. And
criminal
I know,
record. So
yes, and
now we're not talking violent. So that's 100% of them there. We're talking criminal records. They don't need to be violent. If they're here and they're not here legally, then all of them meet that criteria. They just haven't been recorded
Right.
before this point.
Um, yeah, what I think Kevin is trying to say is that the ones that are violent, they are more worried about the ones that are nonviolent, like they're bothering people who aren't a big deal. Um,
Right, but
I
why?
understand going after the people who are
Violent first.
problems
This
and
is this is
violent.
going for the worst of the worst, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
we've
And
heard
we
this
agree
before.
that,
We've heard this before. Go for the worst of the worst, right? We've
yeah.
heard this from the
right.
deporter in chief, right?
And I
President
mean,
Obama.
what about them?
President Obama, deporter in chief.
Okay.
Go after the worst of the worst, right?
Once again, okay.
This is the policies that had happened under the Obama administration.
Uh,
Here, what can I share?
I have no
Can I share my
objection to
because
deportation.
the levels of deportations that are occurring right now are below what was happening under the Obama administration.
That's not
Yes,
true.
yes, it is. From the government's own numbers. I've got it. I've got it. I pulled
Oh,
them up.
ICE gave you this. Okay. Okay, great.
No, 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 not Vice. This came from .gov government. I don't, let me pull up can I share my screen? How do I do
Sure.
that? Because, yeah, this is the government's own numbers. Um,
Um, we got a comment here from Jeff. He said, "What about the Cubans in Florida?
yeah,
What are your thoughts on the Cubans?" Well, I got some Cuban family. They think they're what is it called? As far as I know, they say they're citizens. I don't know
uh, uh, can I not share my,
anything about any of those things.
can I
Yeah,
not share the,
I thought Cuba was a territory of the U.S.
can,
Nope.
can I share my,
No? Oh wow, didn't know that.
no, Cuba's a communist country. It's just south of the Florida Peninsula. Yeah, there were a lot of refugees from Cuba coming over to Florida. We returned a lot of them too. Elian Gonzalez, little 6-year-old kid, ripped him out.
Yes.
Um, that was also shitty.
It
But
was quite the story of the month.
a lot of those Cubans came across uh, to Florida from Cuba on rafts, on boats, fleeing a communist dictatorship, fleeing um, uh, political suppression, violence, um, for any sort of opposition against um, the communist regime, Fidel Castro at the time. So they come across, and there was a policy at the time. They come, they touch American soil, they get political asylum from communist Cuba. So that was an official policy and actual political asylum being granted to them. That's a very different situation than what's happened here. They came and they legally integrated into the country in South Florida. Miami has an extremely vibrant, wonderful Cuban American culture. There's even an entirely new dialect of English that's being formed, developed over there just completely organically in
That sounds
in
like
South
a lot of
in
businesses
South
and
Florida.
stuff are
There
being
there's
formed.
a completely new form of English being spoken there by the fusion of the Cuban idioms with the English culture down there. Um, that's all legal asylum holders and eventually permanent political refugees or actual citizens of the country. That's a completely different scenario. Um,
Oh, okay.
I'm
yeah,
Cuban, and my
yeah.
child is also Cuban. Yeah, they speak perfect English. I don't know what other English they have, but yeah,
Oh,
my
it's
daughter doesn't speak the
it's
other.
the culture of South Florida down there. There's so
Come
many
again?
Cuban speakers. Huh? It's the culture down in South Florida there. It's not necessarily the Cubanness of them. It's the um, level of the Cubans who came directly, first generation immigrants speaking the Cuban, and then there are speaking Cubans in Spanish, and then here, let me see, I'll pull up read an article about it, but
Jeff
there's
says, Jeff says the ones now are escaping the violence of cartels. Yeah,
so
they,
come and seek official political asylum.
How do you define political asylum? Um,
You
uh,
the
contact the
overwhelming
U.S. government. You don't just
majority
hop the
of
border and then
immigrants,
live and expect to be um, granted citizenship for, um, yeah, I don't know. Can I
okay,
share my screen now eventually at some point? Because I've requested this and have not been, because Kevin scoffs at my claim that I had data.
I never scoffed. I can't
oss.dhs.gov/topics/immigration/yearbook/2022. You can get some information there. .gov, okay? Not Vice, dude.
not.
Um,
I didn't. I said ICE.
oss.dhs.gov/topics/immigration/immigration dash enforcement slash monthly dash tables hash colon tilde colon text equals when ampersand 20 we ampersand 20 send ampersand blah blah blah. Okay, come on. So I got my numbers from the government themselves. If I were permitted to share my screen, I could show you the actual data that demonstrates clearly that Obama, even if Trump's both of Trump's terms taken together were combined, and the current trend of his deportations with the current rate of increase of the current deportations were to continue throughout the entire remainder of his term, he was still not on pace to match what Obama had done. Obama deported 3.1 million. That is more than any other president, and I would show it if uh, if I
Well, yeah,
could.
that was over 8 years. I think right now
Yeah,
we
that's
have.
why I said if you take both of Trump's terms, his first 4 years and this term, and you plot out, you accept that if you take his rate of deportations. So, sorry, jumped in here.
All right. Where do I begin? There's a difference between deportation and detainee.
Mhm.
Most of these people are detainees right now in our country.
Mhm.
And
yes,
this is
the
why,
encampments. I just said,
hmm,
yeah, they're sitting in encampments and shit. That's what's going
right.
on.
And this is a huge problem with ICE. ICE is ICE now has the most funding out of any department, $85 million, 85 billion. And $45 billion of that is going to detention centers.
Oh,
Can I
wow.
make a point?
I didn't know that.
45 billion
Raise
to
a number.
detention.
Can I
Go ahead,
the
The,
Kevin.
head count of ICE?
over past several months, ICE has been buying up industrial warehouses with the purpose of holding tens of thousands of
Better than tents.
immigrants. I don't know, to thousands. I must have wrote something wrong there. Holding immigrants for the process and
Or would you
to
rather
hold
them
the.
stay in the tents? I
Hmm?
mean, would you rather they keep them in those tents?
I would
No, I'd
rather
rather
they
you just let them
process.
go home. If you're
I
gonna
mean, there's a
trap them, take
bottleneck.
them
You
home.
say you would rather they process them. Well, that's what is
Yes.
happening. That's what is this looks like, okay?
It looks like the prison industrial complex. It looks like they're hiring people
How
to
would you increase the rate of processing?
give them a
Mm.
lawyer. Everyone has a right to a
That's a
lawyer.
good one.
That's
That
not
is,
that's not an answer to the question. How do you break the bottleneck of processing the detainees?
I don't know. That's up to them.
Well, I don't
They
know.
decided
Well,
they
you have no
decided
answers then. All of this is just moralizing and virtue
I'm not
signaling.
moralizing. I
Well,
gave
virtue
you an
signaling
answer
then.
to your answer. You
I don't know. Is
they
your
decide
answer?
if the government decides to arrest every freaking person
I
with
have
brown
an
skin,
answer that
it's
I
their
would point
job to
to if I could
process
show my
them.
chart, though. I have an answer that I could point to if I could show my chart, because there is precedent for the situation that we're in.
Share your screen and show your chart.
Post isn't allowing sharing for this meeting. That's why I've been trying to bring it up this entire time. But there's been a precedent for what we're going through right now. Back in 1991, the um, the rate of natural immigrations enforced or permitted in the United States spiked. 1991, we peaked 1.826 million natural or naturalized permanent immigrants into this country. And the reason, oh, excuse me, I am so sorry. The reason is because there was a law passed. I don't remember the law off the top of my head, but it was basically a an expedited route to citizenship for immigrants who had been living in the country and were nonviolent and wanted citizenship, didn't want to be deported. So they, boom, spike. If you were in this country, you were here illegally, but weren't doing anything except, hanging out nearby the Home Depot and keeping your head down or whatever, right? Doing all the jobs that American citizens didn't want to do, right? You don't
Hmm.
kick them out. You give the ones who weren't assholes, give them a quick route to citizenship, pass a law. But only the ones that are in the country already, the detainees, they get a pass into whatever, right? They become citizens. They start paying taxes, right? You use their taxes to build a wall and stop any further immigrants from hopping over illegally and then make any future immigrants come the correct way. But there is a precedent for where we've been at, and there was a solution, and it worked then until other administrations came and messed with the enforcement of the immigration laws. So I would show you if I could. But there, that's not moralizing. That's an actual answer to the problem, not just getting upset and saying, "Ooh, ice bad, scary."
That's a terrible interpretation of me.
No, I'm sorry. It's an unfair characterization of you personally. It is a caricature of the argument that you're making as I see it. There is no real meat to the argument except an appeal to emotion, as far as I can tell. You have not made any actual proposal
Well,
what to
yeah,
do,
I'm saying
except
we
I don't
don't,
know. You
you're a
literally
big
said, I
states'
don't
rights
know.
guy. We don't want them here. They don't belong here. And
Right, they don't, but they're
they
here
are
and we're
violating
stuck with them.
rights.
Yes, and
And
so if we
on a
pass a
further,
law to make them expedited natural citizens, then they aren't here illegally
okay,
anymore.
fine. I agree with that. I agree with you on that. There should be a system to expedite them to citizenship. I
Yes,
agree. We agree on things. See?
yes.
Good. But
But we didn't
you,
agree until I said that, until I put that on the table. You didn't have any answers except what?
answers to what now? Okay.
Any actual solution to the problem except the way it's being approached right now is bad.
There there are other factors in the world that affect immigration. Things like war. Yes, this war is probably going to increase immigration. Um, War, famine, drug cartels all make people move from the place. If they can't live there, they got to move. Only 23%.
There's no
Uh,
reason we need to let them come here. The United
Stop
States does
interrupting
not
me, all
have an
right? Just, it's really
obligation.
annoying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Only 23% of the incoming immigrants were Mexican. So maybe if we stop bombing other countries, they won't need to come here.
Right.
That's a good solution.
Jeff
You know,
says,
Maybe not. That's just a statement. That's not a suggestion. That's just
that
putting
is
something
a
out in the air and maybe if we then they won't. That's what maybe if we what there is no actual structure to that. It's just a if we stop wars, then that's again appeal to emotion. War bad. If we stop that, then the poor people won't need to come here. There is no actual solution there.
if I put it into a chart, would you be convinced?
If you could, I might, if it was compelling, if it
Yeah,
actually pointed to your case, and if the
yeah.
quality of the data that goes into it was good, I would be very interested to see what charts you could put together that you think might have some solution different to or better than the one that I put forth.
Are you sure you're not a robot?
I mean, what, because I'm consistent?
No, you just give such good answers. Um, uh,
Jeff in the
and
comments says, um, Jeff says ICE isn't bad, but their tactics are.
Agreed. And the solution to, I don't know. Yeah, agreed, 100%. The tactics are bad, but some way to, I don't know, there's no simple, nice, clean answers to anything. It's just the least bad. And I don't know. That's I don't know. But another issue that a lot of people are not discussing, not thinking about, there's a lot of people who point to all of the manual labor jobs that, that Gen Z kids don't want to do, all of, the hard stuff, the whatever that these people are all, coming here willing to do for us. And I don't mean to say like these people or say anything like that.
Yeah, I get
Just,
You kind of
so
said it.
that the the value of that labor is going to plummet in the next 5 years or so, if anything about any of the AI promises that Silicon Valley is making comes true. If their robots get as good as they're saying they will, if their AI gets as robust as it says, as they say it's going to, especially with manual labor tasks, which is the best area for these to start out at, then they're not going to come over and fill those holes that in the economy that American kids these days don't want to do. They're going to come over and then be replaced too. And then there's even more people with fighting over even less minimum wage money that's all being funneled up through capitalism into the pockets of these select few people. I don't think that it's being talked about enough how they're going to be impacted by all of this AI business, perhaps even more than a lot of the American citizen, the young kids here are. And what happens when that takes off? If that takes off, maybe it won't. I don't know, but I I don't know. Maybe hopefully shift things to something a little less emotionally contentious. But do you have any thoughts on the potential impact that AI might have on immigration in the next couple years?
it. Probably security at the border, so we don't have to build a wall, which makes no sense at all. Um, I just
I
don't
mean,
see that happening.
yeah, I would agree. A solid, it just it's not feasible. That would make it I mean, it would break some records for sure if it was ever
And be
finished.
horrible for the environment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is another thing. You keep talking about money and the how much they don't pay taxes. And well, once again, ICE did cost $85 billion. And why are they building all these detention centers? And it just it's a huge concern to me. What is the next step in this? You know,
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
there's a militia in your city, then there's detention centers. Then what's step three for this? What's he going to do in his third year?
I would be cautious about using the word militia because that's kind of a loaded term.
They
Oh,
use that
okay.
on
So,
TV every day.
Right.
all right.
And that's why
Well,
I don't think that it's technically correct given the actual definition of the word, and that's what makes me uncomfortable about it. Just
they're
because I'm
just
one of those autistic assholes who gets particular and dissects dictionary definitions of everything. I don't know. I don't think militia technically applies, and I think that that's just trying to bring up imagery that,
okay. Well, picture this.
mm,
You got a bunch of guys angry in the woods,
With mask.
and they're crazy, and they want to shoot stuff and beat stuff up. They're
yeah,
just a crazy cabal of whatever. But slap a American flag on their arm, you got government agents, you got federal agents.
yeah,
You better salute them, or else they're gonna throw you in a van.
yeah,
And because you can sign up to be in ICE. I see commercials on TV.
yeah.
You can sign
There,
up
there,
like
There's
just
a lot of ex-military, ex-law enforcement,
oh, you think so?
particularly conservative, who are becoming motivated to join up into ICE, particularly because of how much um, emotion and resistance it's getting. And I don't think that's a good motivation to um, to instill in agents who would then be expected to objectively enforce anything. So I think that's a problem, but I don't I don't see any better answer coming forward. Like what either there's like so where how does how where is the because did you know that the number of ICE agents under President Obama was approximately 22,000?
I don't care.
Right.
I
So
did see that.
I know. But with the increase in, okay, it was the Biden administration that cut ICE after um, winning the election, cut it to about half of what it was under the Obama administration, simply because that was where the Republicans were. Um, and it's stupid because the Republicans only went to the border because Obama was doing it. In Trump's first term, he was saying Obama wasn't tight enough on immigration. The deporter in chief was not strict enough on immigration. He was going to go build that wall, and he did by executive order. And then immediately, once Biden cut into power, he by executive order reversed it and scrapped the wall at less than cost, seemingly just because that's what he was expected to do because the Republicans built it. And he cut the ICE head count. So the um, percentage increases being touted here really need to be taken into perspective. The head count under um, these new increases in budget are only bringing the total ICE staff, ICE agents back up to the level they were at under the Obama administration, approximately. I mean, um,
You should.
percentages need
When did he say?
perspective, and
When did he say
we
scrap
are,
any? Is the top comment right now.
huh? I'm sorry?
When did he say scrap any? Is the comment that just popped up.
Scrap any?
You said that Biden said scrap it, right?
Yeah, what the parts yeah, the here, hold on. Yeah, um whatever fraction of the wall that Trump had managed to get built in the time that he was in office in his first term was mostly scrapped.
I'm sure it just
Um,
didn't fall down because it looked more like a fence.
I mean, it was mostly a fence, and honestly, a fence is better for the environment than the wall would have been anyway. I'm sorry, I've got a cat fight about to break out at my feet here, so if I look like I'm doing weird gestures, just
um, this person also responded after that. I meant of the wall. When
yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, they're talking to Mark.
I
Um,
don't understand what I'm am I wrong about something?
um,
The border
yeah,
wall materials were put up for auction.
yeah, yeah. The comment just says, "When did he scrap any?" I mean, the wall. So, yeah, nice questions. Uh, when did he
Uh,
officially scrap it?
Texas Tribune. So however, for whatever that's worth, I haven't read this beforehand either, so I don't know if this is going to make my point or break it. Either way, this is dated December 20th, 2024. Um, Texas Lieutenant Governor Don Patrick took to X on Wednesday, claiming President Joe Biden was attempting to auction off materials intended for construction of a border wall for pennies in the dollar in secret. In secret. Ooh. Uh, some member of Congress have made similar claims on social media. Yeah, I mean, there's pictures. It's just like a bunch of steel sitting there. So I don't know how much you can really call that a wall. It's a conspiracy. Stop selling the wall, Trump
Yeah.
said. Yeah. Sale, however, was ordered last year by Congress. Texas had already received material from the federal government and purchased more earlier this year. Here's what you should know about the controversy. What's being sold and why. The Trump administration invested $15 billion in border wall construction, buying material with the intent of constructing hundreds of miles of barriers across the southwest border. Most of the construction replaced or updated already existing barriers. That's the way to do it. Yeah, just do a little fixing up and take credit for building it. And today, 140 miles of barrier, mostly built before the Trump administration, lines the Texas-Mexico border. Trump estimated in his press conference Monday that about 200 miles worth of material was still unused after he left office, and Biden halted most wall construction. But it does say in parentheses, some wall construction continued under Biden. That's interesting. So the plan for the unused material was decided in 2023 when Congress passed the annual National Defense Authorization Act, and Republican lawmakers added a section directing federal officials to submit a plan to Congress on how to dispose of excess border wall material. So I guess Biden halted all but just a small part of it, and then they gave up on building it all together and wanted to just toss it, scrap it. Uh, Department of Defense submitted its plan in March, allowing the transfer of material to U.S. Customs and Border Protection and states with a preference for southwest border projects. Congress required that any materials received by states be used to maintain current border barriers. CPB, Texas, and California received more than 60% of the material through a reutilization, transfer, and donation process, it says in parentheses or in quotes, according to the Department of Homeland Security. So the remaining 40% was sold in June to government and military surplus company GovPlanet, which moved the materials to Arizona in December and listed them for auction on its website. So
What was the company with the G?
GovPlanet, G-O-V Planet,
Uh,
Planet, no space and
okay.
capitalize P in planet. Yeah. Some of it was starting bids of $5. Huh. I wonder what you could get for $5. Um,
Um,
yeah.
well,
So I don't know. That's one side executive orders something, the other side immediately executive orders the stop or the reversal, and then back and forth and back and forth. This 4-year election cycle is just lurching the country one way or the other, and neither side has any actual like chance to fully realize anything, for better or worse.
You
I
sure
don't
about
know.
that?
Yeah, for
I
them, yeah,
mean,
they're just.
I
I
mean, look
mean,
at
do you not agree that the scope of executive orders has been expanding and becoming abused
yes,
by both sides.
over
Both
the past
sides.
50 years, it has gone way too high. Um, Especially since the Reagan years. Yeah.
And
we
then
got a
four
comment here.
year
It says,
election
yeah,
cycles kind of,
we got a
sorry.
comment here that says, yeah, tons of legal requirements are still yet to be met, such as across properties.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Private property, that's interesting. Can they eminent domain something like that? And what happens when it's, well, yeah, I guess they can't build the wall all the way up right at the border, right? Isn't the border between US and Canada the midpoint line along the Rio Grande River for much of it? And then there's the border can or with California that kind of, I don't know. So if the Rio Grande is the border, then even building it all the way up at the river's edge would have to be on private property for um, any stretch of the border that um, somebody owns.
Yeah. Well, borders are funky. There's a border part of Canada that is in the United States, technically. It's around Michigan, I think. Uh,
Canadian border within the United States.
it- oh, well, Canadian. There's a part of Canada that's in the United States.
Oh,
And
like an
because of
enclaved little.
sort of, yeah, and like sort of because of roads and everything, sometimes you have to, or they have to, it's a very isolated little island. They have to take a boat to get their groceries or something, or you can't just drive. I
Interesting.
don't know.
That's
It's
really
it's it's
cool.
a funny little thing.
How big is it? Like, is it entirely owned by one family, or is there a whole community that lives there?
There's a community there, but I don't know. It's like a small town, and it's just The island itself is not very big. Yeah.
Huh. That's really cool. That's pretty cool. I want to look at it. I need this fun fact in my arsenal.
Mm.
Uh, um, the next topic. Are we moving forward?
I
Yeah, we
don't
could.
know. I'm sure that there's more we haven't touched on, but
Go ahead.
there's plenty else to talk about. I think. I mean, we've been an hour on immigration. I think
Nice.
that
We can
we
keep
may
going.
have we may have touched enough nerves now for the time being.
There's
Um,
only one thing I want to link towards Iran, and that's the military industry prison complex, and that's so. Okay, proceed with the next topic.
yeah, yeah, Iran. Wow.
The next topic. I don't know if you remember from tomorrow.
Oh, wait, do I? I don't know. What what's where are we going, Pookie? You're driving the bus.
I forgot what I was talking about. Wow.
You're saying where we're supposed to go.
Iran. We're
Oh,
going to Iran.
Oh boy.
yeah. We were going to talk about animals. Went
Animals.
yesterday to this one place, um, and somebody was outside of a restaurant. We were getting something next door, and the guy was like, "You notice all the dogs and cats are missing around here?" Um, and he was saying basically that the restaurants were serving cat and dog. There was a Chinese restaurant on both sides of the street, literally on the corners, two different Chinese restaurants. And the guy was like, "There's a lot of cats and dogs missing around here. They're serving cat and dog." And yeah, my mother believed it. So I was just like, "Mom, you can't just believe stuff just because someone, I don't know what their problem is, but yeah." What do you
I
guys
mean,
think about cats and dogs being served? I don't think that's true, but
Yeah, that's
uh,
a very old urban legend, and yeah, it's
probably
this
not
generation
viewers.
considers it weird now. I thought it was funny that my dad believed the same thing, about that. He heard that too somewhere, and that Pookie's mom heard it too, and they just how did they both get that idea?
I
just
think
ran
there
with
is,
it.
I
My,
mean,
my mother was told that, so there's
yeah,
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't believe
there
it
is
because
something
the
to it
price
though.
of chicken and the price of cat is different. So
Well,
they
not
would
if you're
not.
taking the strays off the street.
I
Isn't that what he
didn't
was
think
saying?
about that.
Like you notice how many dogs and cats are missing around here? That would imply all the missing dogs and cats are being caught and served up in Chinese restaurants. I mean, it's more than a little racist, but you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
there
it is.
there is yeah, having said that, I'm gonna go on to say there is something to it though. There are um, cats and dogs served in some parts of Asia, and
Um,
yeah,
there are some dogs served in parts of the United States. I don't think it's legal, but there's this one guy that worked with my stepdad. He was, I believe, maybe someone, and he said they were going to have a healthy dog for dinner. That's what they told my mom. She said they said that back in 2008. My stepdad had a friend that he worked with, said they were going to have a healthy dog for dinner. Yeah.
I
You
mean,
mean like come over for dinner or a healthy dog for dinner?
No, he
Like
was just
coming
telling us,
over?
just like telling them that that this is going to happen. This is what's coming up, you guys. We got a healthy dog. Like pointing out that you have a turkey for Thanksgiving. That's how
Like
it went, basically.
like bragging that they had a dog that they were going to eat or something, or
Yes, very
uh,
much.
that's
It,
I
it
mean,
was one funny anecdote is I would tell my dad, I'm getting some Chinese food. You want any? And he would go, ew, that's disgusting. That has cat in it. I go, all right, you don't want any. That's fine. He said, I'll have a pork roll though, like, and some
Um,
and some wonton soup, and maybe one of those. And I'm like, where's your principles, man?
I mean, the egg drop soup can't have any cat in it, can it?
um,
I
I don't
guess you're
know.
still supporting the establishment financially, aren't you? You're voting with your dollar.
Um,
Cats.
Oh,
I actually, I might try it. I mean, not the cat or
you
dog in particular, but I might try the restaurant that they're talking about and just
might
like
try
just see
asking
the
for
meat.
it. Just
I
kind of
mean,
feel
yeah,
it
I
out.
just
It's
want
like,
to see
hey,
the meat.
hey,
Maybe try it. You
hey,
never know.
you guys, hey, you got dog.
I will not eat dog or cat. I will take two forks and I take it and tear it apart like this. Oh, that kind of looks like chicken. I'll eat, but I am not going to eat cat or dog
No,
knowingly.
yeah, there are, yeah, there are wet markets, as they call them in China, that have, they're basically just gigantic, cruel, um, markets that auction off various animals that are then, um, slaughtered immediately for the customer, like right in front of them for them to take home. And um, I kind of wish I hadn't, but I saw video last night um, of a wet market in China, and there were dogs, and I had to stop the video about 2 minutes in when they reached a certain point. I don't want to comment about on the details even because
You don't got to comment. That's
it
fine.
was traumatizing. I had to stop and like it yeah, I was like physically shaken by what I had seen and yeah, so it that's probably where the the urban legend came from is that there culturally has historically been a precedent for um, consuming that sort of um, animal and just kind of persisted down a few generations until it reaches us. It kind of gets a bit Americanized with the Chinese food restaurants and stuff being kind of one of the immediate cultural touchstones across America. And it was one of the few things that was actually available to first generation Chinese immigrants over um, in California to be business owners for themselves was to open up restaurants that served their region's um, cuisine. And so a lot of them have a push to stay traditional and I don't know, 100, 200, no, not 200, 100 120 years ago or something, there may have been something that, was going on. Some restaurant may have been kind of in cahoots with animal control. I don't know.
Jeff said he was planning on Chinese later.
Yeah, you brought this up, and
Mm.
Yeah,
I
man.
had I had a stomach full of Chinese food from that afternoon. Beef teriyaki and egg rolls and yeah, man, pork fried rice.
Did you tear it open and see
Supposedly,
what's going on in there?
and I had already eaten it, man. You called me
Mm.
and it was too late, man. I couldn't stop. But um yeah, I don't think it happens in the United States so much, in in part because carnivores make terrible livestock, you know. They it's very resource costly to raise animals to feed to other animals if you are then only going to eat that animal, you know. For the most part, when humans started domesticating animals for food, they went for um, herbivores, grazing herbivores or birds, fowl that kind of just go and pick, you know,
Question,
maintain themselves. So, yeah,
question. Would you try dog if you could?
not after seeing that video. Oh my gosh, no.
Would you try
I'm,
cat?
I'm I'm an animal. Oh man, I'm a cat person particularly, but I'm an animal lover in general. So it's
I would eat
hard.
those little annoying dogs that bark all the time.
Oh, a little kick
Wouldn't even
dog.
think about it. Right into it.
um,
Yeah.
Yeah, a little kicky or yippy kick dog, maybe.
Hmm.
Right out of the
like
stroller,
Hmm.
just
lately, I
for
have been
sure.
noticing, like the
Or
guy
that.
that pointed out that dogs were missing and cats were missing. This is actually a neighborhood where you don't see a lot of dogs and cats. I mean, I'm just moving out here. I'm new to this place 2 months. Actually, damn, I've been out here like 4 months. Time flew.
Well,
Yeah, been out here since what was it, November, and it is now March. Time has flown by, and yes, I have not seen a lot of dogs and cats wander in the neighborhood.
do you see a
When the
lot
guy
of
said it,
like missing posters, dogs and cats,
there
uh,
has been a missing
on
poster
the
of some cats.
oh
And that's the thing my mom was pointing out. I'm trying to like justify the laws and stuff. I'm like, no, they can't eat dogs here. They can't eat cats here. And she's like, well, the dogs are missing. There's signs here saying cats are missing, dogs are missing. But
Oh yeah, that's what it is on the subreddit for, you know, Philadelphia. There's tons of like one every day, a new dog missing or a cat, and yeah. So
I mean,
I
it's
like dogs. I like
unfalsifiable,
cats.
so we can never really say no, that's not true, right? It's
mhm.
uh I can say probably not though.
Have you ever
Hmm?
seen a missing dog? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Never mind. I'm just
Hmm.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Um,
Like look at
yeah.
all the missing dogs or all the
You
dogs you look at all the dogs you don't see around here.
you
Uh,
can't see them,
um
uh,
or
yeah,
not,
that's
or
they that's how many there are.
you're in. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You're in the
I
process.
think that would be interesting. That'd be interesting to actually try it. Now that I think about it, I
Do you
mean,
see
like if it was in like a controlled area, not just go find someone's dog, Main Street or something. Um, have it prepared well and all that good stuff. Not just like I said, don't just find a random dog. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if someone had like maybe a restaurant that actually said we serve dog instead of a Chinese restaurant that says we serve chicken and then serve us dog, I'd try some dog if they labeled it as dog. And
If they were
yeah,
honest enough to own up
if they
to
were
it,
honest
that would
enough
make
to
it
tell me,
okay.
yeah, if they were honest enough
I
to
don't
tell me,
know.
I probably might. It's
I
just a
would
might.
just be thinking about, you know, my old roommate, he had an American bulldog, be thinking about, her eyebrows, the look on her face when somebody would have to somebody would have to do that deed at some
Mm.
point, regardless of whether they tell you it's dog or not. That would have to happen. And that's, I don't know, having the
I got
connection between the, pets and everything too anthropomorphized in my mind to be food, you know.
Okay, then what's the
um
weirdest food you've ever seen or
The
eaten?
uh,
the
that I've
weirdest,
eaten.
Yeah, weirdest
Um,
food, you would say.
I don't know. I would
mm,
say maybe a tie between a uh, bison ribeye, which was extremely tasty, and uh, gator. Gator's real good.
um, I heard about Gator because you're from Florida.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing I've tried, oh Lord, it was there. It was there. And then the idea just jumped out of my head. Oh, eel is one that was
Oh,
very interesting to try. When I was told it was eel, I was like, maybe not. And then when I looked at it, I was like, it's called dragon roll. It is eel and it is sushi.
Pretty good.
And yeah, pretty good. Better than I assumed. If you eat it first and then know what it is, it's much better. But when I was like, it's eel, I was like, let me dip it in teriyaki, might be better. Then I just put the whole thing in my mouth. And then I was like, that's kind of good. And I tried it again and again. So, yeah.
what about
Mark,
you,
I
Kevin?
have tried buffalo. Actually, I don't remember where, but I have tried it. Uh, and yeah, it, it wasn't like a fresh restaurant, but it was definitely good. And maybe shark. I think I ate shark or something. I don't know, but yeah, and alligator. I've tried
Someone,
that too.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
there's a
all
comment here. Someone says, I probably would try it if it was legal and if I knew what it was. Yeah, just like me. If I knew what it was, if they were just like, I got some dog over here, it's good, try it, then maybe. But yeah,
I
now
don't
they're gonna
know. I
make me
think that
start.
at
I'm gonna
some
start looking at
point
stuff.
down the mammalian family tree, it in my mind it feels, we gotta snip that and these are the ones we uh, don't eat or that I don't eat, and then the rest of them, above that, anything off of the mammalia family or that branch. I don't know. I would have to look at the whole taxonomic mess there and try to see what I would and wouldn't, and if there's any sort of rhyme or reason to it, because I think there's
Um,
definitely something about like brain capacity that I would tend to anthropomorphize and probably not want to treat as food.
what about insects?
I have
People
not
eat
tried
No,
that all,
insects.
yeah, all over the world. They do.
I mean,
They
I might try it.
like katydids. Katydid, is that the right word? Um,
Close enough. Yeah, I think.
yeah,
Anthony
you know,
Bourdain. Anthony
and
Bourdain. He has a show. I think it's named Strange Food. It might be. It might not be. But yeah, he goes around trying strange food, and for some reason he's always like, "Ew, you guys eat this?" And then he's like, "Huh? Now that you guys eat it, I see why." So yeah, I probably wouldn't try a bug. Uh, I seen somewhere where they had mealworms, but that's not my thing. So I'm not gonna try mealworm. But if you're watching, you guys like, share, subscribe, and yeah, keep watching us.
Tell us your
Monday,
weird food. Comment.
yeah, tell us about your weird food, and we can talk about that. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing and really enjoying back in like the late aughts, early teens, Anthony Bourdain and his Travel Channel shows. I like particularly No Reservations, and he'd kind of just go around and go to countries and try stuff at little hole in the wall places that nobody would, I mean the name No Reservations because he's going to all these places that aren't fancy enough to take reservations. Nobody would know them. And there were definitely some skewers of insects that he had eaten there. And I don't know if they're I would
uh,
definitely want it to be cooked at least. I'll say that. Deep fried insect, I think, sounds a little more appealing to my American brain than, you know, maybe it's
mm,
just the fat that is appealing to me, boiling
I think
fat.
that would kind of take away the pro the nutrition factor because bugs are pretty much pure protein, and yeah,
didn't know that.
no fat. Yeah,
Um, what I was gonna say was, oh, in in Manila, that's where Anthony Bourdain went one time, and they were
Philippines?
eating what the fuck was it? Oh, they were eating pre-eaten chicken, and he tried it. They
What?
There was a guy in a garbage can. He would get the chicken that came out of the garbage can for the restaurant that he was getting the garbage out of the restaurant, and he would get it, sell them the chicken back, and then they would put it in a soup. And it was, I don't know if it was good or not, but Anthony Bourdain said it was all right.
Oh,
And he
okay.
actually tried it knowingly that
Okay.
it came out of the garbage can. This is in Manila. I seen that on the Anthony Bourdain show. Yeah, it was disgusting, and he actually tried it, and they said it was good. Well, he said it was all right.
I mean,
Um,
that's something a little different. Um, that's I mean, well, it sounds like, if I'm getting you right, he's getting like the chicken scraps, right? The bones and
Correct,
whatever's left over off of
and the
people's
bones,
plates and stuff. Okay, yeah, that's
and
a
use it
little
in a
different
soup.
than what I was at first picturing. Pre-eaten chicken. I was like, how do you get it back from the person who has already consumed it? That it's not, but okay, yeah, there's actually I don't know if it's an East Asia thing or something, but I've heard of a couple of cultures that have a tradition of um, pots of stews that are made from all of the scraps and leftovers of stuff. Um, there was one in particular I remember hearing about. I think it was the oldest continuously cooked pot of stew in the world. And it was this in at this one restaurant in Japan, that they had been simmering that pot for like 147 years or something. It was nuts. But I mean, when you think about it, it's not that out there to cook together a broth, simmer for a long time, a broth from bones of stuff that you um, have left over after preparing a dish. The only difference here sounds like those bones at one point had a passage through, the garbage can, right? But otherwise, it's just, not too dissimilar. You just get the flavor of everybody's dish. So it's like a collective characterization of the entire restaurant's menu, I would think. It's kind of an
Um,
interesting, I don't know. But
there's
I've
some
he's
comments here.
oh,
One says, I can't think about its name now, but being a produce manager, I've wanted to try absolutely anything we may sell. There is one. It tastes sweet, but actually smells funny and bad. Um,
oh,
durian, durian,
durian.
that's it.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, they sold
It's
them at the grocery store I worked at, but I
Durian.
never. Yeah, they sold them at the grocery store I worked at, but I never got a chance to smell one cut open, let alone taste one. But that's one that's been interesting for a long time. I think I would be willing to try it up to the point that my senses start to take over. If it smells so bad that I'm off put by it and just can't overcome that, then I would, I'll say it right now, then I would just be a coward and I would have to live with that. So I'm on record. If anybody gets, yeah, forces me to smell a durian and okay, don't track me down.
Mm.
And give me a durian.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a little fruit. It looks like it says the durian, the edible fruit of several tree species belonging to the genus Durio. There are 30 recognized species, at least nine of which produce edible fruit.
yeah, all
Durio,
spiky.
it says Durio sabethinus, native to Borneo, Sumatra, and the Malay Peninsula, is the only species available on the international market. It has over 300 named varieties in Thailand and over 200 in Malaysia. As of 2021, the other species are sold in their local regions. Known in some
So
regions
only
as the
only
king of
one
fruits.
king of fruits? Really?
Yes, it says it known in some regions as the king of fruits. End quote.
I mean, if it's sweet enough, if it tastes that good, then I bet, I don't know. I
Um,
how
Yes, there
much
are
of this
some.
also is just coming from our own like westernized culture that we have it ingrained. It might not even smell bad to people over there. I wonder.
uh,
Anybody from
it did
Malaysia
say it smelled bad.
to everybody, even when you grow up with it?
Oh no, it didn't say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you grow up eating these and smelling them and then tasting them, if that association there is and it yeah, I wonder. There's no
Um,
way I can know
it,
from now. But yeah, how much of it is cultural? There's a lot of stuff that is cultural in terms of, like our sense of
um,
um,
there's a picture here, and it looks like a lemon slice. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I would. I'd
Well,
try it, to be honest. I'd try it maybe just once, like I said.
you say that, but you have yet to smell it. So,
Yeah.
like
Someone
me,
here said
I would
scent
be,
sure can change that taste. Yes.
yeah,
Yes, it can change a taste. My mother's like that. She's texture and smell. If it doesn't smell good or feel good in the mouth, she'll spit it out.
yeah, I'm with her on that. I agree 100%. The texture really mouthfeel as they say, right? I agree. It's very important. There's a lot of stuff. That's a huge part of the reason that pineapple is so vile, is the mouthfeel. I just, yeah, it can't. It
Pineapple vial.
it smells fine, I guess. Sweet.
Try pink pineapple.
But the pink, what?
There's pink pineapple. It's supposed to be a little softer
Really?
and
Uh,
less acidic.
that's interesting.
Oh,
Where's they
what?
grow
That
that at?
looks fake. That looks like somebody's photoshopped a picture of a
Probably is.
pineapple. Well, yeah,
Um,
but yeah, good
Everything's
point.
photoshopped on
Good,
the internet. I'm
yes,
more
or
surprised if something's not.
yeah,
uh,
because that's a
where would
really
I purchase
vivid
this at?
pink. And
Where would
this,
I
there's,
purchase some of this fruit?
yeah, where do you get a pink pineapple? Once you get one pink pineapple, you should be set. You just plant that top, and then you're gonna have pink pineapples for the rest of your life. You just got to be patient. But I bet that would work well over in California. I think it's probably warm enough that you could grow the pineapple tops out and get your own pineapples.
Back to the scent of the durian fruit. When the person said scent sure can change a taste. Their next comment says, "Well, you might not be able to smell much before cutting it." Right. I probably would buy it and not even pay attention. Again, fruit. Don't notice until you cut it open.
I mean, honestly, if I were walking around in a jungle and I looked up at a tree and I saw one of these durian, I would not think to try to cut it open just based on the appearance alone. Already, it doesn't look like something good, you know? The spikes, all of the
I beg to differ.
versions I see all have those. I mean, they look cool for sure, but they don't look like um, tasty fruit. So I would have to get over
Uh,
that hurdle first and think, okay, well, maybe I'll give that a try. And then you cut it open, and if it smells like rotting eggs or something at first, then that's two major hurdles I would have to overcome before giving it a taste. If I were like the first explorer ever in the jungle over there. So I have no idea how the native populations, indigenous people ever got to the point of making making it there. Like king of fruits. What was that? King of
yeah, it
fruits.
was.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting though. I like it. Or at least the visual
So, um,
etymology from Malay. Yeah, the name durian is derived from the Malay word duri for thorn, a reference to the numerous prickly thorns on the fruit's rind.
the
So,
comment here, another comment here says, the spike look I find is just what the kids with their parents would be looking for. Hmm. And there's a smiley face. Yeah. I think you'd eat it, Mark. I think you'd try it. Worst case scenario, if you were stuck in the woods, have you seen the movie? The show Yellow Jackets.
I have not actually. I have seen it advertised. I really should, shouldn't I?
Yeah, some girls, a soccer team of girls, they were on a plane and the plane crashed. I'm not sure where. My memory's bad. Well, you know that much. Uh, but yeah, they were stuck there for 18 months and they were eating anything they could find, including each other. When you got proven guilty of breaking some kind of law, you got to check it out. You got proven guilty of trying to hurt somebody or something. You were next on the chopping list for getting chopped up and eaten. And yeah,
So
So
it's like
Lord of the Flies.
high school uh soccer team air trip meets the Donner Party,
um,
something.
I
Do you know
guess
do you know
Yeah,
that you know the Donner
it
Party?
it's like
I think so.
literally Lord of the Flies for girls with
Oh,
girls.
hey. Well, that's
Have you seen it,
cool.
Mark? I mean, Kevin,
No,
Mm.
but
check it out.
from here, I, I'll go with that. I'll tune in.
It's on Paramount and CBS.
Oh, okay. Paramount. I got Paramount.
Um,
Nice. Well, yeah, I'll check
yeah,
that out after. It's
yeah,
tough
I
though
found it
because
pretty
Paramount
interesting.
has all of South Park, and that's just so easy to justify. Oh, I'll just 20 minutes, no big deal. Just one, right?
And then you're gonna be 3 seasons
Sit down.
in.
Sit down, couch lock kicks in, and it's like, oh, just one more, right? That's not gonna make. Then I'll go and get to scoop in the cat litter box. You know,
Right.
6 hours later, the cats are staring at me, wondering why they haven't gotten dinner yet. Uh, okay. Let's see if Yellow Jackets
Uh,
can get me couch locked as hard as South Park.
it can.
Um,
It
yeah.
got me couch locked. Yeah,
Oh, it
about a
sounds
week.
a little like Lost too. That was
These
like
girls, they turned
Lost
into
meets the Dark
monsters.
Party. Okay.
These girls, I was telling my mom last night, they turned into monsters. Like, even after coming back, they were just like, killing was so easy for them. It was wild. They were like girls that turned into like villains. Yeah,
Mm.
you have to check it out. Anybody watching, check it out because yeah, I told my mom I like the show, but I just hate how they stick to their bad habits after they grow up. Like they have the opportunity for these crimes that they committed to just walk away because they haven't been seen or heard of or anything, but their trauma makes them. Mm. Some of the girls hunt the other girls when they get older and they go back home. They're hunting each other down and killing each other and making each other eat, making one eat another. Yeah, it's rough.
Then perhaps you are more of a Lord of the Flies person. Very,
I
he
don't know if
sounds
that's
very, very. No, I'm not going to talk about that book no more. Um, yeah,
Yeah, we
but
could just get Chat GPT to summarize it for us afterwards.
okay.
uh,
Mm,
it's
mm,
sad.
Um,
no, read the book.
Hmm.
Read the book.
to the last post about cats and dogs, I looked it up to see if it was legal, and it says while there was no federal law against eating cats or dogs until 2018, the 2018 Farm Bill, which includes the Dog and Cat Meat Trade Prohibition Act, bans the import, export, slaughter, transport, sale, or purchase of cats and dogs for human consumption. The bill was signed into law by former president on December 20th, 2018. Yeah.
Uh,
But then there's a whole site it's connected to. Um, yeah, you guys got to check out this site. It's yeah, the pictures of cats being cooked. Well, I don't know if you guys want to see this. Uh,
Not really.
I found it interesting. It's not cats being cooked; they're actually already cooked.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, sure. I'm pretty hungry.
That's better, right?
Yeah, they're already cooked. They got a hook through the chin and they're just hanging. Uh, yeah.
Don't click on any videos.
Oh no, it's not a video.
If that
It
that might be, I don't know. So a lot of that was present in the video on in the site that hosted the video that I looked at and mentioned earlier. But if that is the same site and like further down there is a video, don't click on it. Just
um I did not scroll. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, I did send the link as a comment to um
they're
yeah,
smart.
you guys,
They
if you
know.
don't like videos, I mean pictures of cats, yeah, these cats are skinned
Let's
and
assume that
cooked.
they're all just AI generated and um not uh I need to go use the bathroom where
Yeah, I don't Kevin, I'll send you this link and I don't think it's a AI to be honest.
That's okay. I'm not gonna look at it.
Come on. You have to check it out at least once. Just don't scroll. Just look at the picture at the top. Just it's a restaurant. You don't have to dig through the whole post. Uh, yeah.
And
Uh,
what shall this accomplish? All right, I'll take a look at it then. Okay. For the sake of the viewers, you people better click up on this or click. All right. What did you
you're
send me?
watching. Click the link in the
No,
comments. If you don't like, hmm, actually, yeah, most of the people that I know are cat people. Uh, yeah. Another comment here says some big cats. Yes, those are big cats. I mean, personally, I scrolled now, so yeah.
uh,
There's
yeah,
there's
I guess that's bad. Ew, I don't like the ads down below. Those are gross. Um, I don't know if this is AI or whatever, but what
it
is this
probably
from? Lawson.com. Oh, let's check out that source because
yeah, it's
I don't know
probably
what
not
the
AI generated. I wish.
there's there's a well no not a post. I'm looked up the cat and stuff. Number of states where eating dog meat is legal is 44 to 43. Number of states where eating dog meat is illegal, 7 or 6. Uh, what's funny is that number of states where eating dog meat is illegal, 6 or 7. You know, 6 or 7, 6, 7. I don't know if anybody caught that, but
Yeah, well,
yeah,
one might be, or one might have ambiguous wording or laws or certain circumstances where it might n not be under technicalities or something. Um, yeah. Well,
the states where it is illegal to eat dog and cat are California, Georgia, Hawaii, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, and Virginia. The remaining U.S. states accept it. Hmm. Yeah.
I don't,
Uh,
I mean,
yeah they
they
pulled
don't
a Christy
explicitly
Nome.
prohibit it. I don't think that I would necessarily say that's the same as accepting it, you know? It's,
hmm.
I doubt you would find any state where a majority of its citizenry would accept it if it ever like came up to a ballot initiative in a pure democracy, like purely democratic vote. most Americans, I think, would say, don't eat cats, don't eat dogs. They're not food. I don't know. Maybe that's just
Hey,
wishful thinking, but
Well,
yeah.
until like a you know tragedy happened, like you know this
I'd
I
totally
don't
eat a
know,
dog.
the system fell down, and yeah,
Just
yeah,
kidding.
but places like Wyoming, I think, wherever Christy Nome is from,
Yeah.
I think she
South
likes
Dakota.
to. She might be she might have a taste for dog, perhaps.
Mm, that's a little different though.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Farm
Um,
animals, working dogs, those are not pets necessarily. That dog was not socialized early enough to be like rehousable. If you go and talk to any farmer about working animals like that they have, that when they're unruly, when they don't, when they misbehave, they act out and they're violent, you can't just hand them over to animal control. And even when you do, animal control would just shoot them anyway. Shoot them
everyone's a farmer, aren't they?
with a little, huh?
I
I
said,
lived in South Dakota.
why
I
is
know I've talked to farmers. I've lived in South Dakota, man.
yeah, but like every politician seems to also be a farmer. What's up with that?
I mean, you see how much of the United States area is covered by farmland? How many of those states' representatives would have a seat in the Senate? I mean, each of them are
mm,
guaranteed a two-seat in the Senate. So if a majority of American states are agricultural, then it would seem like, I'm
I believe
just
10% of the country is involved in agriculture.
right. That's not what I'm saying. Like the number of states, they each have two seats in the Senate, right? So most of the
Unfortunately,
populace is concentrated in a handful of states on the east and the west coast, but all those middle states, the flyover states, as people had called them in some elections, um, every single one of them gets two seats in the Senate. So they're gonna be agriculturally inclined there, you know? It, I, I don't know.
shooting a dog is cool with them.
I mean, shooting an unruly dog that will never be a family pet. Yeah. Would you prefer that animal control do it?
Oh, I see.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
the,
I don't,
I'm thinking of the movie where the kid had to shoot his dog.
Old Yeller.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They're just all yeller people out there. Okay.
Uh, I
Not
looked up
all.
California. Well, at least this is California. It says in California, the sale of dogs and cats is regulated. Breeders must provide specific information about the animal, including its source, health records, and any known diseases. Additionally, California has laws that prohibit the retail sale of companion animals unless they are obtained from shelters or rescue organizations. If you are considering selling a dog or cat, it is essential to check local laws and regulations. Uh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So I guess you can sell them. You got to raise them. Uh, there's a comment here that says, I guess farmland actually takes up 39%. That's a lot. It's a decent amount. Uh, yeah. I also looked up what animals are protected.
Yes, but 10% are farmers.
Oh, okay. 10% are farmers this year. Um, I actually watched this show where, well, not a show, it's YouTube, where these guys go and the seals are usually like land on land, and they run and go chase them. And there's like usually seals with netting, like from the ocean around their necks and stuff. So they'll catch them and cut the netting off and let them go. But it'll have like big scar and open wound where they doing it. But I mean, the ocean is the best place to go clean it off, I guess. But it's gonna burn for a little bit. But that's where I found out that it's illegal to kill those seals. It's illegal to even bother them in their environment. But then again, this was in Australia. These guys, I actually think they're doing pretty good. They're going to get the seals that are on land and taking the netting off of them, which is good. And they find plenty of them every day, and they got it on their YouTube channel. I do not know what it is at the moment, but here, I'll read it to you. It says, protected animals: whales, dolphins, porpoises, seals, and sea
Porpoises.
lions. Porpoises, okay. Sea animals protected from hunting and eating by humans. Marine life is protected from hunting and eating by humans through various laws and regulations. The Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act are key pieces of legal legislation that safeguard the marine mammals, including whales, dolphins, porpoises, seals, and sea lions. These laws prohibit the take of marine mammals, including harassment, hunting, capture, collection, or killing in the U.S. waters and by U.S. citizens on the high seas. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought you can fish wherever you like to and catch what you like, but I seen that. So then, I had to go do some more research on it, of course. And there was a documentary where they're talking about we should go vegetarian. Basically, they were like, we should stop eating the meat, and they go to farms and they talk to people and stuff, and they're saying if we keep eating meat, it's going to destroy the environment, and we're going to have a problem, or the world will end or something like that. 2034 is when they said that is, if we keep destroying the I forgot the word they used. uh, yeah, I believe it's the greenhouse gases. They believe that's gonna
Yeah.
end the
Yeah.
world.
Climate change is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah, we can
think is
dig into that.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well, the
that
meat
takes us to
provided
talking about the
or,
environment.
or, or the animals raised do they shoot an incredible amount of gas and methane into the air. And that not only that, they take up land, trees and such. And it's yeah, that, but that's just one of the things. There's many things that we need to do to repair the earth. Uh, uh, and you're not going to like them, but um, getting off petro is the number one thing that we have to do. But yeah, a vegan lifestyle on many levels would be very beneficial because the ocean's ecosystem is becoming way out of whack. Their oceans are becoming acidic, and our air is becoming toxic, and this is becoming an unlivable planet to exist on.
Got a comment here. It says, I think I recall something like that relating to how they are farmed. Uh, And it said, with the canine and feline, where should we draw the line? I think I'd understand mountain lions or wolves or coyotes, maybe fox. Makes sense. My bad. Uh, Before we go too far into the next one, those were things being said in the comments. Yeah.
What, like eating mountain lions or
It says, I think I'd understand mountain lions or wolves or coyotes, maybe fox. I think they're talking about killing them and eating them. But they said, where
yeah,
do you
the
think we
eating
should
them?
draw the line with canine
Well,
and feline?
yeah.
Mountain lions are incredibly endangered. They should not be shot. I just,
I think that's what the person was
Yeah.
saying. They shouldn't be.
yeah. Coyotes,
But they
though,
all
on the other hand, are a nuisance animal in every single one of the lower 48 states. So they, I think, free game. I mean, not literally, but within reason. I don't see any reason why. Um, let's just, I don't know, eliminating coyotes when they're, you know, I don't know. There's no way that we can, make a dent in the coyote population, even if every farmer shoots the coyotes that bother their farms. There's
I
still going
wouldn't
to
I
be
wouldn't
a,
try coyote.
huh?
I wouldn't try coyote. That's just a personal thing.
Would not?
That person, the animals that person said specifically, I would not eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Coyotes are scavenger animals. They are not something that that would be tasty just based off of the stuff that they eat. The
hmm,
the building blocks of coyote bones are all made of trash. They're like
that's personal
raccoons. What about raccoons?
opinion.
Huh? Oh, we lose Pookie for a second. Hopefully for
Well,
a second.
that's fun.
Yeah. Was he saying though, like, do you think um personal opinion, do you think that he was making a case for eating coyotes?
Don't know because
I want to
they,
hear.
they seem like they would be carrying disease if
Yeah,
um, if you're if what you said is right, about them being uh, essentially um, that sort of nuisance
yes.
animal.
Scavenger
Yeah.
animals out in the wild, they're basically just eating whatever carcasses and whatnot they can find and come across. So, um, yeah, it's same with like raccoons. They just especially in urban areas. They're going through dumpsters and stuff. If it wasn't in urban areas, they would be going through the dumpsters of nature, trash pandas is the nickname that they had on Reddit for a long time, for that very reason. So
Uh,
that's another mammal there. If we're going back revisiting that whole mammalian family tree, I would snip those branches off of the fair game to eat, but not really because of any sort of intellectual closeness to it or cognition. Um, just because um, they're gross. You
you
know,
just personal dislike. That's fair. I
just
mean,
gross. I don't
do
know.
they have any? It seems like the urban area is in design very close with animals. Their urban animals are becoming urbanized. Squirrels and birds and yeah.
There's black bears here, like right in the very neighborhood that I am. currently located in. There was a black bear on somebody's yard, like just 2 miles away from here.
Mm,
Um, it's nuts, and it's not because they need
eh,
to come here, right? They're not encroaching on our territory technically, you know.
yeah, I
Um,
know. Well,
and deer, a lot of people don't necessarily think about it, but deer are a nuisance animal in a lot of ways. Their population needs to be well maintained.
well,
A
it's an
lot of
interesting
people eat
thing.
deer meat. Deer, have you had venison?
No,
No, it's good. If you ever get the
I,
chance, I would
I,
recommend trying it.
I've heard it's good. Um, of the what was there like 10 hominid species? The
I
Homo
mean
sapien.
that we've named and isolated so far, like who
Yeah,
knows?
I'm gonna wrap
It's
around to a point, and yeah, Neanderthal, Sapien, Erectus, and for some reason, out of like 10 of them, only eight survived. Only two survived, and the similarity in these two, Homo sapien and Homo neanderthal, was that they traveled. They would move from spot to spot. Homo neanderthal moved throughout Asia and Europe, and a couple thousand years later, Homo sapien moved out of Africa. So it's a trademark of humans to move, and that's their survival trait. And it makes me think uh, about living with animals and how can we do this properly? And because the
oh, I
ultimate
thought
point
that
of
was going to be wrapping around to immigration again.
oh
People
no no no
naturally
no
moving, but that
well
is
yeah
there is but that's not the direction you're going. Sorry.
yeah nature needs to be in harmony or our um, technology basically needs to be in harmony with um, each other, or else the planet's going to die. And that's it. If we don't come up with new things, willing to sacrifice, yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, I think that the fact that um um rockets are mostly, um, hydrocarbon propelled oil, petroleum products. It's basically kerosene in liquid rockets. So if the space sector is something that humanity wants to keep accessible for the near future, there needs to be a certain amount of whatever um, oil reserves there are that needs to be like set aside and like thought of. That's not even part of what we have. What we're considering as energy reserves for the planet, right? For fossil fuel electric production, right? So that cuts down what we're doing with the like peak oil production. Um, there's there's an a trend in basically just constant increasing in capacity and production and usage that um, isn't sustainable beyond just the immediate near term. And that looks like it will also eat up whatever fossil fuels are needed for the rocket propellant within that time. Like if we need to, as Elon says, if we need to become a multiplanetary species in order to survive, how can we do that if we don't have enough energy set aside to get off the ground before we basically,
Well, I
commit
think the
ecological
question
suicide?
he should have asked is, what are we going to do if we're all dead? You know, we're gonna be ex asphyxiated in this planet, and all the animals are going to be dead.
Yeah.
So
The
it's,
clean
it's not a
energy
matter.
is
It's not. Yeah, it's
a
not a
bigger
matter of
priority than
fuel.
interplanetary. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think we discussed, I think it's come up and that we agree that nuclear is really a better answer than anything else on the table right now for this. So am
Yes,
I,
but it has to be a combination of everything.
yeah.
I know you didn't. I don't think you were a fan of wind so much, but it does work.
The wind works only in specific places when,
Right.
it's a niche, but it's not sustainable on its own. When you look back at what Germany had been doing in the teens, it basically it voluntarily shut down all of its nuclear power plants, basically for no reason except nuclear energy is scary. But
Yes.
the that
You gotta have a
shifted
failsafe. Yeah.
it shifted the burden from um, Germany being a net energy exporter to a net energy importer. Their own power grid was not able to sustain the demand. They had rolling blackouts. Um, they had to have. There were actually periods of time in Germany where the electricity was at a negative rate, where they actually paid people to use electricity to plug in their phones, charge all their devices, turn on their washing machines, air conditioners, because they needed the demand on the grid to keep things stable. And then
Oh, they actually
other
paid
times,
people to use the electricity.
yes, yeah, there was a negative charge on the yeah, it swung wildly because they shifted too much of their grid over immediately to wind,
Excuse my
and the wind,
skepticism, but
yeah,
you
well,
know,
yeah,
it's just I've I've
wind
heard this tune
sometimes
before.
blew really, really hard, and there was a massive shift in the energy production coming out of wind turbines that they couldn't compensate for quickly enough, so they had to shift and
So
consumers to
wind turbines destroy Germany.
no, that's not at all what I'm saying. But
Uh,
it's um the sudden shift too quickly to green energy in the form of wind turbines there when the technology is not feasible for entire power grid sustaining. Um, why am I jumbling up these words so much? It sounds like I'm speaking word salad. Okay, I'm gonna look up the
What,
uh,
what you got, Pookie?
Um, when Mark was talking, somebody said that's actually why the wind and solar plants are pretty much batteries under the regular charge, then holding and providing power when there are none, or there is none. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Germany
Mark's the
is
engineer.
experiencing a record surge in negative wholesale electricity prices, with over 570 hours recorded in 2025, driven by excessive wind and solar generation exceeding grid demand. During these times, power producers pay consumers to take energy. While common on wholesale spot market, this rarely results in direct immediate rebates for standard residential consumers. But yes, the um I mean that's another thing. Solar, you only get it during the day. Doesn't happen at night. What do you do at night? Um, when it's bright and sunny and really super windy, you get a lot of power that doesn't exist when it's dark and when the wind isn't blowing. So you need to have the capacity to meet your entire grid and all of its demand when all of the lights are out in the middle of the night when there is no wind blowing at peak demand, or you risk not being able to provide the electricity that your society needs. And that's what
It,
Germany did. So they had to have rolling blackouts, and sometimes they had negative electricity prices. And this is just what happens when you shift over without allowing for enough backbone. They either need the fossil fuels or they need to open up nuclear power plants again. But
I'm all
renewable
in for it.
energy is not mature. It's not able to meet whole grid demands. It looks nice. It sounds great in political campaigns, but it's not realistic.
Uh-huh. Well, the sunniest part of the United States is, let me see, I think it's Kansas.
Oh,
And
okay. So you want to
yeah,
just bulldoze Kansas and cover it with solar panels
no,
and wind turbines, maybe?
I'm,
The
I'm
best
just,
areas to put renewable energy happen to be the best areas to farm. So we get either or. It can cover the surface area with solar panels and not farm, or vice versa. But
well, we have to do
there's
something. And
no such
California,
thing as a
by the
free
way, does
lunch. That's
a lot
that's
of farming too. So
I'm sorry.
don't,
I didn't get what you it kind of jumbled up for a second. I didn't hear what you said.
California does most of the country's farming. So don't,
Really?
I'm
Well,
pretty sure.
by what metric and by whose measure? I
You
would be
want me to
interested
like
to hear
name
that.
how many tomatoes?
I would be interested to hear how you can claim that California does most of the country's farming, because that seems a little bit ridiculous when you consider how much corn is grown in every single state in the middle
Corn
of the
sucks.
country. Fine, but that's a lot of farming all over the country. And the surface area of all of those states exceeds that in California. And then you have
Okay,
mountains in California that
you you're right. Okay, but by dollar value, California is number one, consistently ranks number one in
have
fruits
a bunch
and
of
diversity too. So fruits, nuts, vegetables, dairy production.
different things. Diversity is not enough to meet full demand. And by dollar value, yeah, they've got Napa right there. That doesn't make, I mean, dollar value isn't a good metric either. That's
And
not a way to measure most. You need to define most first, and there's no real way.
I don't even know why I brought that up. That seemed like a uh,
I don't know.
irrelevant thing. But
I don't know. But
uh,
the surface of, renewable energy production is not available for farming and vice versa. So that's a point that needs to be addressed. We can't say all of this ought to be XYZ without some way to, or some reason to justify it and some way to get there. Otherwise, it's just fantasy. So
it
I
seems
don't know.
other places do it well. They
Yeah,
use
negative electricity because of surges that exceed grid demand. Do you know how dangerous that is for all of the grid equipment to
no,
exceed
I have no idea
demand
what it
like that?
means.
Because
Um,
me either.
it can, yeah, it can destroy the equipment that runs and distributes everything. You need everything very delicately maintained and balanced. And if it tips one way or the other way, it shuts off. The
but I'm sure
electric
there's a
grid is a
reason.
lot more delicately balanced than a lot of
I'm sure
people
there's a
really want to
reason
admit
for whatever was happening
because they
between.
shifted in a way. It was legislators that dictated changes that were not feasible to the engineers who were running everything at the time.
So maybe the engineers screwed up.
No, no,
No.
Mark's
no.
an engineer. You can't talk about engineers.
I mean, you can, and engineers screw up all the time, but that's not what happened here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got a comment here by Jeff, and it says Palm Springs is powered by wind and they have excess. Another comment just popped up and it says, I think it's just as possible. Only difference is population of which would initially benefit. So I think
Yeah.
it'd only
Yeah, it's like
require a gradual and measured change. And then it has the little face like this. Like,
yeah,
hmm.
it's like all of those houses that put solar panels on top of their roof and stuff when they have solar panels that are producing in the peak of the day and all of their stuff is shut down in the house and they're out and stuff and they're producing more. If they don't want to put it to batteries, there are places where you can um, have your house hooked up and you can sell your electricity back to the power grid, which is functionally equivalent to having a negative wholesale electricity price there. You can feed it back onto the grid. Um, so
um,
it's a
I
great
was
way
told
to,
that there's these people that come around every year with the same story. Um, you should get solar. We're moving to this. Everybody should move to this, and blah blah blah. They come with the same story every year, but they were telling us that um, the electric from this part of California we get from Nevada. We get power from Nevada somewhere, but that's here where I used to live in California by San Francisco. Um,
That's, that's right. And a
yeah,
place like Kansas, instead of selling so much corn, if we don't eat that much, I know it's in a lot of products. I think it should be in less products. Corn syrup is just poison, and people should stop eating it. Um, it's Yeah, knock over the stupid corn and put um, yeah, so, uh, grids. I think that would be a much better idea. And you could sell energy to Canada or someplace, and that's a
no,
much better.
that would be a terrible idea. The variance
Um,
in the sunshine,
it's the
the
sunniest place.
frequency. It's the frequency of large storms. When it blow over, it would damage a lot of panels. It would require so much maintenance there. And again, like I was saying, the negative wholesale electricity prices would have to come again when the sun isn't there. And they would need to import the electricity. And so they have to bring it in from all of these states, which around them would have adapted to be reliant on them in theory, and when they're not, then where does Kansas get its electricity? You can't rely 100% on renewables. You need diversity, like you said at the very outset of this conversation. Diversity.
Mm.
Don't don't put all of them into the one basket. And honestly, the best, the greenest would be nuclear. Zero carbon emissions.
I think new urban planning, because this country is they they can't drive as many, they just can't have this many cars. They can't have this much stuff and crap, and it's not going to work. Um,
Build the
yeah.
nuclear plants. Everybody can plug stuff in, plug their cars into the grid, get it all. Because all electric cars really do is shift the point of the exhaust from a tailpipe to a smokestack. Um,
What's that? What's
yeah,
a
you're
smokestack?
the power plant's smokestack. It's burning whatever fossil fuels to generate electricity. So if you're not moving your car around with the internal combustion engine, and the exhaust fumes, whatever coming out of the back of your car, that comes out at the top of the smokestack at the power plant instead, because all of that energy that your car is using to move around comes from the batteries that get filled from the power grid, which is fueled by fossil fuels still. You're still burning
Yeah,
stuff.
I think
You're
everyone
just
knew
not
that,
doing it at
but
your
it's
tailpipe. No, not everyone knows it. There's a lot of people who think that they're completely zero emission by having their Tesla or whatever. Don't ever assume knowledge in the populace.
There's a comment here that says he does think the time and complaining was worth the investment, though. That popped up when you were talking, so
true.
it does not say a name. I'm assuming they're talking about Elon. Wasn't that the last person's name I heard?
I don't know. I don't remember mentioning Elon. Was it the time that I was complaining? That probably wasn't worth
Uh,
it. I don't know. I don't know. Ask them if they can clarify, maybe, or I don't know.
are you saying that Mark? Um,
Complains too much,
are you saying that the comment is about Mark, or please help us? We're lost with your comment.
or or Elon. I can
Um,
complain more about Elon if they want.
it says comment just before that one about Bill Meyer.
Bill Meyer.
You-
I need to look
Bill
at him.
Maher, Bill
Uh,
Meyer,
Maher.
Oh, okay, yeah.
that's
I
Bill
know.
Maher.
I know who he is. I don't know why. Did we mention him, or
No,
did one of us say something that he tends to endorse
Uh,
or something? I don't know. I'm not sure how Bill Maher got
I
roped into
I
this.
know he's
It's
very
interesting.
pro
He's
green stuff, very pro environmental.
very opinionated for sure. That's
Yeah.
that's the number one thing he's known for is opinionated political satire.
Mhm.
Uh,
we got to get you
so
on his level.
me on his level, I doubt it. No, maybe Kevin.
Um,
Mm.
someone. Um,
He's
Another comment
he's
here just popped up. The comment says, oh, two comments popped up. He said how he waited years in California for solar energy. And the next comment says, was years of paperwork to complete it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was
And
yeah, he kept complaining about the that was a joke about the regulations in California. And
yeah. Yeah,
but
but
that
that,
does
I
not
mean, that's another great thing about it. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't. I'm trying to stop
because
jumping in.
because Petro has taken away every single regulation. They can spill oil in your backyard if they want. They can crap in your river and poison your air. And if you want to put up a measly little, you know,
Comment?
electric, whatever, you can't. There's millions of regulations.
Comment here says, but he still thinks it was worth the investment.
Yeah, that's the great thing about that idea. I mean, the headache, the paperwork and everything. Um, but your house is there either way, right? Its footprint on the planet is there. It exists either way. So if you slap solar panels on top of that, that's not taking away from any sort of um, wildlife refuge or migration route or any sort of farmland. You know, it's um, using space that's already occupied to add a capacity to it that otherwise, you know, would have been impossible. So, yeah, there's people down here in Florida too who have those solar panels, and there's nothing but good things about them that I've heard, as far as, you know, cutting their electric bill and stuff. Um, but
Oh,
they're, yeah, a pain to get up there.
I'm gonna have to.
Um,
I'm gonna join the other side on this because it says Germany is still doing good with their energy usage. Yeah. It says solar supplies 10 to 12% national electricity in strong years.
Search Germany electricity prices negative rate,
Mm, we get right on it.
because doing good on average is different from being good and stable.
Their prices will be high because of the war in Ukraine. They can't get any oil because
No, their prices were high long before that, historically. And they went from a net energy exporter to a net energy importer when they shut down all their coal plants. They basically imported most of their energy from France, rely on France's nukes.
on Brit, did you say? The
France,
Brits? Oh, France.
France's
Oh,
nukes. Yeah,
hmm.
France's
What about
mastery of
Spain?
nuclear power. Spain doesn't have nukes. Spain doesn't have the capacity to help boost up the
I
German
didn't say they had nukes. They
struggle.
had major utility scale
Right. That's why I
solar
wasn't. Um,
expansion since 2018. Host some
yeah,
of the Europe's
Gamesa. When Siemens AG bought Gamesa, they went under. That's why they had to spin off Siemens Energy, because Spain's number one wind company there was such a disaster that it almost took Siemens down with it. They had to turn it into a different company, and it's still a major pain in the ass. Their wind technology really isn't all that great.
apparently it's not that great
um,
at all. So When okay, China, the biggest country in the world or whatever,
Biggest
world's
polluter.
largest world's largest solar producer and installer. You don't think they're onto a trend there?
They're on to, I'm sorry, they're on to what?
A trend. You don't think they're catching on to something? They build
I
massive
mean,
desert solar bases in
how
widespread
large
urban.
is China? How many people are there? What's their GDP? You can't just say world's largest. I mean, by what metric? And so if it's largest per capita, if it's largest per GDP, then yeah, then that would be a point. But I mean,
The
they've got
metric
so
is
many more people that they could just install, they've got so
here's the
much
metric.
space there.
They're the largest solar producer.
So
That's the
what?
so what? Well, they're ahead of us in a lot of stuff. And this
Pollution.
is, yeah,
Yeah. You're really going to lift up China as a beacon of environmentalism? Really,
um,
man?
no, I don't put words in my mouth.
No. Well, why are you what's the point then? China dot 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 solar dot 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 therefore what?
It's that our recent policies has shut us off from the world. And now a place like China, who we do not want to be like, people are going there. Countries like India are making deals with them. India was on the fence for a long, long time. And now India is making
How
deals
much
with
coal power does China use? Is China the world's largest coal polluter? If so, I think that is the same logic and that would be the same reasoning, point to point
Um,
offset that, right?
no, it's
um,
Wouldn't
not.
there's a comment here.
That's not
One
even
second.
relevant.
There's a comment here that says, "Oh, China sure is heading in the right power direction." I think their population largely comes from some materials they market. That's a comment that just
Yeah,
popped up when
China
we
is the
started talking.
world's largest coal polluter, responsible for over half of global coal consumption and production. So, yeah, I'm not that impressed. I'm not that impressed by their solar output because it's completely, completely neutralized by that
So
statement. It's just a fact. It's not.
why are they building it? For fun?
So what? They're building it. So what? You're just
They think it's going
spewing
to help.
facts. What is the conclusion? What is the action that you are proposing? You
That
just say stuff.
this is the efficient technology of the future.
That's just another statement. What is the point? What is your point? Okay. Therefore, what?
What? Uh,
Nuclear is carbon neutral. There, I made a statement. Therefore,
yeah,
what? What should we, I mean,
I, I
saying
I don't.
something does not inherently make some statement without a logical reasoning to connect it to something. What is the conclusion that you want to be drawn from this?
That what the same did you like
China is the world's
all right,
largest solar producer. Okay, then what is the conclusion from that?
that
China is the largest
it
coal polluter too.
it
So,
must smell really bad over there. I don't know.
okay,
That's a good
fine.
conclusion.
What is the point of your largest solar power producer then? How does that make
All
any
right.
sense, any point?
Statement A. It's the power of the future, and China's ahead of us.
That's a non-statement.
Okay, no,
Power of
that
the
is a
future.
statement. You asked me for some sort of conclusion, some sort of weird, I don't know,
I mean,
weird stuff. It's the future. It's the power of the future, and we
no.
are we are ignoring this by infighting in politics in this country. We have a president currently who shut down all environmental policies and does not want connections with the other worlds, other countries. So the connection, uh, I guess, your conclusion that you want, this is not another statement, is we're going to be in a load of shit in 30, 20 years.
Okay, so you're just making a bunch of statements, though. You're not actually giving any answers or any solutions. You're saying China does this, here's this, here's this. What do we do with all of this information that you're giving? You're not actually saying anything.
Uh,
Oh, man.
uh, I
Next
was gonna say
topic,
I think what he
Cookie.
was trying to say, but I forgot it. Oh Lord.
I think we all forgot it. Jeez.
Um, yeah. Forgot what I was saying. But yeah. Oh man. Um, yeah. I forgot. Was there something else we were gonna bring up?
Uh,
Uh,
Iran. Did we talk about Iran already?
yes. We did not talk about Iran. Um, the other day, I asked you, Mark, should I be worried? You said no.
Should you be worried about what?
That could start a war. I said it could um, dropping the bombs or whatever, or trying to hit the base could start a war. I said, should I be worried? You said no. Um, they actually hit the
Uh,
base now. They actually came back and they did not miss. Um, should I be worried?
I'm not sure. I don't remember saying, I'm not saying I didn't say it. I'm just saying I don't remember what this statement was in regards to what base, who's, what, because there've been a lot of stuff, a lot of shots fired from both sides. I mean, we killed their supreme leader, which is something I think a lot of Americans don't necessarily appreciate. It's not like killing their president. That was like number two to God in their minds, in the loyalists' eyes, like the Shia loyalists to the regime. Um, Khomeini um, was like so. However, any of them managed to scramble together to like retaliate. Um, I don't know. They don't really pose any threat to the mainland United States. That's for sure. From Iran. Aren't they saying that there's been um, noise in terror networks for years now about the porous southern border that um, um, Well, the hold on, it's Lyrica O'Clock.
Oh, medicine time.
Uh,
Yeah,
Oh,
so
my
yeah,
medicine
sorry
time
about that.
passed a few hours ago. Oh no, an hour ago.
The um um the like YouTube podcast circuit around this time last year seemed to have a weird number of like former CIA analysts and or agent or operatives who were uh, supposedly retired and coming out and talking about all of the, doing all of these podcasts with like the Danny Jones and um, um, Joe Rogan and stuff, and something that several of them seem to have um, talked about was connections between um, Latin American drug cartels and Middle Eastern terror networks. There have been arrests made in Europe of individuals for drug trafficking of cocaine that came from, well, I mean, cocaine comes from South America, um, had been trafficked to them by these cartels that they were selling in Europe to fund their terror activities is basically Hezbollah's in the cocaine game. And Hezbollah is a puppet state or a puppet entity for the Iranian regime. Um, so if if they could manage to get cocaine in through Beirut into Europe, why would they not be able to get any sort of equipment out over into um, Latin America the other way and then smuggle components up through the southern border is the major concern that they were saying. Regardless of politics, this is not circling back to ICE. Please no, and I don't want to touch on that again today. I mean, unless you want, if you want to bring it up, I'll go
yeah,
back. But
yeah, I'm good.
ICE aside, so there were concerns about
Um,
the openness of the border allowing this sort of free entry of terror agents and equipment, and there was concern that Iranian military equipment could have actually made it through the border, including Iranian missiles. They thought could be within the borders of, you know, the lower 48. So that combined with the fact that haven't there been warnings? If you watch TV, there have been warnings and discussions that Americans everywhere should be um, alert, should be aware that stuff is happening. It's not like, I don't know. They might retaliate. They might try to. They might have whoever puppet, you know, entities they can influence, try to do whatever they can to whoever they can, kick and scream as impotently as they want to, as the you know like a childlike tantrum as they go down. I don't know, but I wouldn't say unconcerned. And if I did say don't be concerned last time, I think I was mistaken to have said so. But you know,
um, there's a comment here that says Trump already referred to it as war. Actually,
man, well, isn't he? counting on the War Powers Act to have like a distinction. It's a military action and not actually declared a war to get around the whole technicality. And he's just referring to it as a war. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just,
The expansion of the executive office, how much
I mean,
expansion until they become a king?
oh, I don't think it's going to become a king or a king ever.
Not
That's,
Trump, but
yeah,
they can just come into office and say, "Oh,
yeah.
the
Just not
18."
gonna leave office, guys. That's, executive order is that it's, lifetime, right? Julius Caesar
Right.
style.
Yeah, right. We'll see then. Yeah.
Yeah. Dictator for
Um,
life. Dear God.
So, uh, what was that? I've lost track of countries
Should
here,
we
but
be concerned or something, given
uh,
everything that's happened since last time? There was
uh,
something about a base. I wasn't sure or something. Haven't hit the base. I don't know. I'm not sure. I tend to ramble when I start to answer a question,
oh,
if you haven't noticed.
I mean, the connection between the Venezuelans and uh, Middle East makes sense because Venezuela gets drugs to Europe, and that is the known connection. But
Well, I mean, Iran has had, connections in that area for a while, right? Haven't
yeah,
they?
well, no, I'm not really concerned, except for the fact that there might be some retaliatory single shooters, mass shooters, which there was a shooting the other day. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but there's something. Uh, what I'm
Well,
worried
that's
about,
it's certainly reasonable.
I just don't want to
there's a
see
comment
another.
here. There's a comment here that says, I think a few bases in the ME have been striked. Capital
Yeah,
ME. So I'm
yeah,
assuming
Middle
that's
East over. I think there were like a. I know I
okay.
saw there was a few hotels over in like UAE and Doha, um, Bahrain, I think.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, there were a few missiles they fired over the Persian Gulf, but I don't know much more than that. So sorry.
I just don't want to see us in another 17-year war. You know, he says,
Right.
and it's going to cost once, and it's going to cost them, money. Of course, lots and lots of money. You know,
Tax dollars.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
right. Yes, obviously. We need to vote whatever funds the military needs to um, complete the mission, right?
like
Operation Epic Fury. Epic Fury.
a comment just
Why
popped up
not
and it
like
said
Operation
tweaks.
Uber Justice?
these are terrible names. They all sound like action movies.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's how you sell them. That's how you get the big numbers at the box office, at the ballot box,
And
everywhere.
Um,
That's what
there's
works.
a comment
Oh,
here.
it sounds so dumb, but that's what works.
enduring freedom. Yeah, that was a big one.
There's
Shock
a
and awe.
comment here that
Whoa,
says
whoa. Yeah,
two
Iraqi
weeks.
freedom.
The comment says it was what Mark was talking about. It popped up. I was trying to say what the comment was saying when you guys were talking. 2 weeks. Uh, yeah,
2 weeks to what?
you gotta start like answering when I put the hand up. That's when I get the comments. I can't go back, and I don't remember what the person was talking about. So if you do not respond when I put the hand up, we will
Say,
miss
say
something. I wouldn't
whoever
like this.
whoever said
Oh,
2 weeks, let us know 2 weeks to what, from what were we talking about? We have epilepsy. We don't
uh,
remember
Do you mean like 2 weeks until there's the all-out war or something? Because
until there's no more Iranian leadership, or I don't know.
a
This is
joke about
something.
how long it tends to think
How,
things will take.
2 weeks. Okay, yeah.
eh,
I don't know. How long will it take is it depends on what the definition of it is and what the definition of takes is. Like what is it that you're doing and how do you define when it's finished? I mean, you can play around with that language to make anything sound successful when you're trying to sell a military operation.
that's what the
Um,
definition of is.
that too, yeah. That
That was,
very
that, that,
ambiguous.
that was that was a Bill Clinton joke. But
Yeah.
uh if anyone out there who gets that joke, please um
It
yeah. Okay, so what the problem with fighting Al Qaeda was they were deeply entrenched with the people of Afghanistan.
Hold
So
on. Um, when you guys were talking, it said that's what scares me. Uh, did you forget what we were talking? What you guys were talking about?
no, okay, yeah, I said the people of Al Qaeda, when we invaded Afghanistan, were deeply entrenched with the people. And Hezbollah, I don't know if they have the support of the people, but they are deeply
oh,
entrenched in
they're a
Iran.
political party. They have control. Oh, they're Lebanese. Hezbollah is the puppet um over they don't sorry, you're
Uh, uh, no, I don't remember. I did see them on TV today, and they were doing something with Israel. Um,
oh yeah, Hezbollah is joining in the fight and firing rockets and everything at Israel on behalf of Iran and in reaction to it. But Hezbollah is that terror, the Shia terror organization in Lebanon that, they've been the ones who when you're whenever you heard about something, mortars or rockets or something being fired over a border at Israel, it was kind of like a 50-50, maybe 60-40, whether it was Hamas or Hezbollah. But Hezbollah is the Lebanese to the north of Israel, and Hamas is the Palestinians. And both Hamas and Hezbollah had become or formed themselves into a political party that then took control of the regions that they were within. So yeah, they're basically just firing all the rockets and mortar shells that Iran had bought and built for them. Um,
so this isn't really a problem for the U.S. I mean, we got all the artillery. What is this going to look like long term after we defeated whoever the enemy is, stomp down everyone? And is
yeah,
this going to be an occupation? Are we going to stay there for a certain amount of time? Are we
really hope
going to
not.
put in a a puppet leader? Are we going to, because history is not
I
on our
mean,
side with this.
yeah. And just taking out the the leadership right there, taking out Khomeini does not necessarily mean that the regime is defeated, is impotent, or that, they can't continue to try to take, grip of the Iranian people. There's an opening there, though. At least there's a possibility that the populace can have a fighting chance against, having to wear the burqas and no music and no pet dogs and yeah, it's
That makes me wary too, because they thought that would happen in Afghanistan, and it came
right.
back worse. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or on the flip side, even in the Middle East, in Muslim majority countries, when a an individual has managed to establish a secular state, what we saw, the most stable secular state in the Middle East was under Saddam Hussein. And we didn't like that either. So we go in and take him out and then, open the door for ISIS. And, over in Afghanistan,
Yeah,
um,
that was just terrible planning all along. We didn't have a exit plan, or yeah. He was still a
yeah.
killer though. And
I mean,
I think,
there was no exit plan, but what alternative did we have also? Like, do we just let bin Laden go and fly planes into buildings and kill thousands of Americans and do nothing to prevent that from happening again in the future? Like, we had to do something, but we couldn't do anything without entirely confronting um the whole the whole thing, the whole ideology of the ruling regime. And they just go and disperse and blend into all of the surrounding population. And then as soon
so,
as we leave, they never left. We never defeated anyone.
so you think Iraq was 9/11?
No,
Okay, I just wanted to make
no,
sure.
no, 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 no.
I
Halliburton
must have.
needed something to
I was gonna
do.
ask the same thing.
They needed some income, that oil money there. Yeah, it was Cheney's war. WMDs, right? No, no
Right.
WMDs anywhere. They never were anything. Never even
There's somewhere.
imagined. Well, somewhere, just nowhere in Iraq in
The
reality.
absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Well,
There, there.
oh,
Think
okay.
about that statement.
Right,
I've said
yes.
the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
The
It's a
preponderance of evidence is um pointing towards a lack of ever having been any WMDs in Iraq.
no,
How is that? Is that more
it
precise?
just it basically means just because you can't find it doesn't mean you can't prove it's not there.
Yeah. But I mean, saying I have no WMDs, it's unfalsifiable in the other direction, right? You can't prove the negative.
Yeah, It's
We can't,
yeah,
we need, it was our job to prove that there were WMDs and we
uh-huh.
failed. So, yeah, it's not, it wasn't and really never was, it should have been on the Iraqis' side or on their um, shoulders to prove that there wasn't a WMD or weapons of mass destruction program of some sort, biological, nuclear. I mean, nuclear would be almost impossible to hide. The scale of
Oh yeah.
infrastructure, we can confidently say Saddam didn't have a nuclear program. But, you know, bioweapons, I mean, yeah, they could hide that in like a something akin to like a high school chemistry lab, basically.
Ooh,
Um,
you want to go there?
but it really you can't yeah like I said you can't prove the negative. You can't prove that there that it isn't there. That's why it's the the job of the um, affirmative to prove the case in a debate. Which is
Hmm.
weird to think about and try to talk about like international politics as a debate like that, you know. But as to Iran, I mean, the scale of the infrastructure that we were seeing just from satellite imagery, it was obvious that there was a nuclear weapons program still in place and being reassembled after those strikes that were done recently that took out, a lot of their um, uh, centrifuges. That's the word. A lot of their centrifuges and nuclear scientists and family or immediate um, those who happen to be in the immediate vicinity of those scientists. That's just a nervous laugh there. It's not funny, but um, yeah. Pookie, you say have something to say?
A comment just popped up. It said imminent is one thing, easily defined, as is obliterated, constantly reminding me about season finales.
I'm
Dun dun
confused at the
dun.
season finality. Oh, oh, yeah.
All right.
It's like a cliffhanger ending, and now there's going to be
Okay.
a big explosion of a next season on the Middle East.
Eh, that would be a great show if
Action packed.
uh, yeah, yeah.
Have to get Michael Bay. Lots of explosions.
Oh,
Right.
no, yeah. He you can't put a person like Megan Fox in the Middle East. They would never allow it.
I mean, you could cast anybody and say that it's Megan Fox underneath the burqa.
Well, that's the whole point. You can
Um,
like, oh,
why can't it be
that
Megan
burqa is
Fox?
so sexy. That burqa.
Yeah, the
Why can't it be
thighs.
Megan Fox?
I mean, it can, but why pay that
Well,
much for just
yes.
get AI to fake the voice, fake the pitch and tone of her voice for all of her lines, and then have somebody just stand there underneath the burqa. All that all that's visible is the eyes there. So uh,
Ah,
we must send it's so Islamophobic right now. If anybody just happens to hop in,
oh no, they'll
Um, a
it's
comment
it's
here says,
you
sounds
know,
like Mark Sure got it.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
High five, Mark. Yeah, virtual. Uh,
Kitty says, thank you.
Kitty says we won. Uh-oh, Kitty. You're part of the morning show, Kitty. Add you to the cast.
Oh, she's purring. She likes that. Can you hear?
She loves when you do that, Papa. What if she just meowed into the mic?
No. I think the microphone, I think it's auto noise canceling the sound of her purrs. I don't see I don't see it picking up anything because she's purring pretty loud. And
Oh yeah, we can't
it
hear
seems
anything.
yeah, it's smart enough to filter that out. I guess if Chip's headphones can filter out the sound of a garbage truck driving past his face, then a cat is basically like trivial in comparison, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
That's like one time I was eating. I was eating and I was live and I was at a taco spot. I don't know if you guys remember that. Uh,
The tacos, we remember the tacos.
yeah, and I'd be eating at the taco place, like right on the street, and no one would be able to hear the cars passing by. Once you guys told me that, I was like, all right, no reason to mute it then. Um, and then you wouldn't hear me chewing. That was good times.
Well, you were chewing too?
Well, I mean, I had to eat,
Like,
so
well, I guess, yeah, I guess you would have had to, but that's funny. I don't know. I guess I assumed that you had finished eating by the time that, I don't know why then.
I
That's
had,
crazy.
I had.
So,
If you watch what was posted this week, um, yeah, I was actually at the taco place, and Kate was starting for us because I was eating, and then I
hmm.
left for like 40 minutes, and I came back. Um, yeah, I mean that's when I had to go to the store, get something, then go home. So that's why I was not on for 40 minutes. Um, yeah,
That's
uh,
magic.
yeah. So you guys want to cut it here? Uh,
It seems like a good spot to end it. There's plenty to argue about for next time too. Still,
yeah. If anybody has any topics that you would like us to talk about, um, put it in the
let
comments or put it on Reddit. Uh,
let
we'll see it,
yeah.
and we could figure out and do our homework on the topic and come back. Um, go ahead, Mark. I know you're gonna like, share, subscribe. Come on, they're waiting for it.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Hey everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. Really helps out the channel. Um, yeah, I think that covers everything, right? Like,
pretty
subscribe.
much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Um, Kevin, you got anything you want to say to the people?
Don't forget, everyone, to like and subscribe. We really appreciate that. All right.
And join the subreddit.
And
It's
the subreddit.
epilepsy underscore universe. Once again,
He's got
epilepsy underscore universe. Um, and yeah, hope everybody has a good day. So far, so good.
yeah.
Uh, I forgot there was something else I was gonna say. Can't remember. Anyway,
You'll remember
see you
once we
guys
end the
later.
stream.
I can't figure out how to do it. You guys, I literally can't find out how to stop the stream. Uh,
I guess we
Oh
could
my.
just all leave Zoom and leave it with nothing to, I don't know.
Um, the last comments here says good times and laughs. Guys, I'll try to think more. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
They got no more comments on.
Uh, let's see. You guys got any more comments out there? My fellow subredditors and YouTubers and whoever else might be watching this. No comments yet, but we got good times and yeah, pretty much damn good day. Um,
Come to the
why
Zoom
can't
meeting tomorrow if you are so inclined. Epilepsy underscore universe has the login information, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Uh, yeah, we can end it and come back. See you guys Thursday.
All right.